Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Pez of the Mind Review. Today we're going to be taking a look at Marvel's Captain America Civil War. Joining me, of course, we have over there, I'm just going to go down the line on my screen, Mr. James Phoenix.
Hello.
Chriz the Mole.
Hello.
And Anastasia Lazerbeam.
Hello.
Thank you all for joining me. I would also like to throw out a Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Hope you all are all having a great day today. So, yeah, Civil War, that happened, and it was kind of awesome.
Does that include Anastasia? She's a kitty mother.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I had to clean the earwax out of my babies for like 15 minutes and then hold her down to put the medicine in. So I think that counts as it because that's basically like shit cleaning for babies.
Fair enough.
That's not the same.
It's gross, and I had to do it to keep them alive.
It is, but if you have raised a child or anything like that, you have to do that daily, like 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so the sheer amount of times you have to change a baby and with shit is ridiculous.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's because that's one of 3 things they do, so obviously it's going to take a third of their day. But yes, we're not here to talk about the babies. We're here to talk about the Civil War. Team Captain America versus Team Iron Man.
Remember, one of those teams is a baby.
So, I don't know what kind of format we really want to use for this, so let's just, I don't know, I guess just talk about the movie. I like the movie.
Hang on. Just preface for those at home, because I know we didn't write it. It should be obvious in the title, but just because this is the internet and nothing is obvious, spoilers. If you haven't seen Civil War yet, don't watch this video.
Yeah,
to be
pretty
fair,
much.
though, it is capable of doing a review without spoilers, so that shouldn't be something they should have known.
That is true, too.
All right.
Our review, as Jim pointed out, will be a spoiler-filled review, more than likely. So you have been warned. Beyond this point, spoilers. But I like the concept of the movie. I like the whole, should we, the Avengers, let the government dictate when we can act and what we can act? Is that right? And I don't know. I like Captain America's motivation of, my gut is telling me there is something wrong here. There is a truth out there, and this isn't the truth. I don't feel this is the truth. And if I let the government do this, if I sit here and do nothing, then my best friend's going to get murdered, and the truth dies with him, and shit could get really bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm going to go find out the truth. If he's guilty, fair enough. I'll bring him in. He'll, justice will be served. Whatever punishment he takes, I'll have to accept that.
I'll admit, I liked a large chunk of the film.
It was very entertaining.
The beginning just dragged on and felt like CGI fights for the sake of it.
Yeah, beginning was very boring.
It'd be reminiscent if I didn't mention that, because we normally insult films for that stuff. But it's like, oh, cool, now you're doing slow down, cool fight. Okay, but this doesn't feel like it has to be there. Oh, now there's a chase sequence. Cool. It's like it's not even like they were chasing like the main villain or something really important. Or anything really came from it, it feels like that chase scene could have been removed and you would have lost nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. I would like to go on the record as saying I haven't seen like Winter Soldier or anything, but the feeling I got, and I don't know if this is true, you guys can tell me, but the feeling I got was that this was kind of wrapping up the villain or one of the villains from the previous movies. Because the way it opened and when Cap was talking and stuff, it felt like, okay, they know this guy, they've been chasing this guy down, they finally found him, and he's doing something big, and they have to stop him, and that's how they're opening it up.
Wasn't he in Age of Ultron?
Was he?
Marcus didn't see Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm just saying because he said I haven't seen Winter Soldier, I'm just expressing which of the films it was actually in to keep things accurate.
Fair enough. So yeah, it felt like they were wrapping up some loose ends with that one, which is why they did that. Which, it's like, okay, fair enough. If he's a multi-film villain, then I think a good solid, not big fuck off fight scene, nothing on like the scale of say the airport scene, but you're gonna wrap up a villain that's been in more than one movie. I think having a good standoff works. And they also did it to further illustrate, why Tony is doing what he's doing and why he feels that, government oversight is a good idea.
Yep. Even though to be fair, he wasn't the main villain in Age of Ultron either.
True.
I forget who was the villain in that.
Oh, but
if we're speaking of truth, the real villain of that movie was Iron Man.
No, he learned his lesson, so it's all cool. Although, yeah, that's one of the other complaints I had with this film. I couldn't side with Captain America. His motivations are fine, but the way he goes about it, like, fuck all my new friends, like, that fast, and, like, fuck it, I'm not going to tell Iron Man about who actually killed his parents and all this other stuff. It's like, he was a flat-out villain, almost to the same degree Iron Man was in the comics.
And when I was talking to Marcus about this last night after you guys had gone to bed, I kind of said the same thing. I felt that Iron Man was kind of in the right here because, yes, Captain America had some valid points, but Iron Man was, he signed this agreement, and yeah, the agreement was very limiting, but at the same time, here's the point, we can amend the agreement later. We can, work on making it what we need it to be, but for right now, this is our best option because, they're right. There's been a lot of casualties from what we've been doing, and that's not really a consideration we've been giving, and it's something we really need to think more about that needs to be kept more in check. Because we are such a big, these fights we get into are big against these big, powerful enemies, and we do have these amazing abilities ourselves. And I thought he made a lot. And yes, he was driven a little bit by his grief, by that woman blackmailing him over the building, falling on her son, and his, near-death experience in Avengers, and all the stuff he's gone through. But that's kind of what shapes the character, and I think it makes sense that he'd want to, agree that the Avengers needed some level of oversight.
Yep, I can agree with that. And you also have to think with that as well. You got Captain America acting the way he did, and I'm like, really? No, it's sort of like Magneto, where, mutants shouldn't be treated like worse people. They shouldn't be. But when you destroy a bridge to prove your point, you've kind of gone too far.
Yeah.
And I feel like Captain America has escalated this to war really fucking fast, making him the villain. And I'm like, no, I'm kind of done with this. I'm kind of done with you, Cap, on this. But you kind of made that villain choice, because I always felt it's better when you're like, that one's got good points. This one's got good points. Which side are you on? Which one? And both are equals. Like the concept of Civil War was supposed to be. Like when they kept telling you with the comics whose side you on, and it was like various banners. Oh, fucking awesome. Then you go to read the comic, and Iron Man's a complete fucking dick throughout all of it that destroys people's lives and makes a clone of one of his best friends.
He clones somebody?
Yeah, there's a clone robot of Thor.
Okay,
for no other reason than because he was like, Thor would have wanted to be on my side, but he's not around right now, so I'll just say he's on my team.
Oh, so he wasn't in the actual comic book storyline either?
No, that was in the comic story.
No, I mean,
Thor, yeah.
Real Thor wasn't.
Real Thor was. I think Real Thor does show up and kill his clone.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
But
that doesn't answer the question. Was the clone worthy?
Yeah, but regardless of all that, like I said, Captain America's motivations, the way he acted, and a lot of the stuff he did, he just felt like the villain. And I know there's some people who are like, well, he tried to spare Iron Man's feelings of his parents, but it's still like, dick move.
A little bit.
He's like, no.
Also, in the letter, he said, I know what I did is wrong. Still not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Bye.
Yep. Yeah, which means Captain America was the flat-out villain in this story, unfortunately.
And this story didn't really have, like, a villain. It just had, like, a, hey, I fucked things up, and now I'm giving up, and now we're done.
I would even argue the main villain of this film is less of a villain than Captain America was in this. Because as the videos proved, the Avengers, which Captain America was part of, have caused a lot of deaths and destruction of buildings, something the main villain caused, to prove his point. And at the end, he was like, I don't want to kill everyone. I just want the Avengers to fight each other and kill each other, and all he did was show them the truth.
Yep.
Which means Captain America was more of a villain than the villain. That's messed up. That's messed up.
A little bit.
He also fucking bombed a building, but yeah, we're just going to overlook that.
No, I just mentioned that at the beginning when I said he blew up a building, but I said, but if we're counting that, to be fair, as the footage showed, the Avengers have destroyed buildings and killed people.
They destroyed a building and killed people in this movie. It was a major plot point.
Yeah,
And they also didn't do it intentionally.
But you're overlooking that too, so I'm like,
But the difference is they didn't do it with the express purpose of killing people. This guy intended to kill the people inside. He knew people were going to get hurt. So you can't say he didn't do it without the intent of hurting people.
He did it with the intent of luring Bucky Barnes out of hiding. He did it with the casualties were just a side effect.
He did it with learning to, and he even mentioned to the guy at one point when he's like, I didn't want to kill people, I just wanted to lure Bucky out. Which means it's also possible he didn't think the bomb would kill people.
Yeah, and he said to T'Challa, I'm really sorry about your dad, the king. He seemed like he was a really good guy. I never wanted him to die.
Yeah, and you know what he did? He apologized face to face. You know what he didn't do? Write a letter as he then turned around and freed a load of criminals.
And also apologized. Didn't write a letter and didn't say sorry, not sorry, goodbye.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And
I suppose
also,
this is what the movie was designed to do, to have, the two sides kind of thing. So, and like I said, it's not like I disagree with Tony or anything. I think what he was doing was right to an extent. And yeah, like you said, they destroyed a bunch of buildings, killed people, so they have to take responsibility for that and realize that their actions are going to have consequences, especially on the level of which they're fighting. And I think they did come to that the Avengers came to that realization throughout the movie. And even Cap realized it, and he was like, even though he didn't like it, he was willing to go with it. He just wasn't willing to let them kill his friend just because they had some blurry picture of some dude's half face that they think is Bucky.
Yep, which, like I said, to be fair, this isn't the which side was right, because like I said, our problems is just how he went about it. Otherwise, we would have been like, "Oh, that's really close. Which side are you on?"
Yeah.
But now we're on Iron Man's side just because of how Captain America went about it, which is like I mentioned with the comics of which side are you on, and you're like, "Oh, Iron Man's side has some really great points here." I probably would side with them if he wasn't ruining Spider-Man's life casually, because why the fuck not? And it's like, no, the way you've gone about it has made me hate you. Has made me say, no, I have to go against your side just out of principle of your actions.
And the thing is, that he hasn't stopped. He now still has Spider-Man's wife.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Which, to be fair, Spider-Man wished her away.
Fair enough.
I like Spider-Man's side of maybe if I help Tony, he'll pay for my college.
Yeah.
That was good.
That I will go into a little bit. I will mention I love Spider-Man. I thought he was awesome in this film.
He was.
I agree.
However, you could easily remove him and Paul Rudd,
And nothing would change.
and nothing would change at all. Even that airport scene where the chase scene affects nothing. It's just a prolonged chase scene.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh cool, now we've webbed them, but a few moments later they're all back on their feet anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's changed nothing. You can remove Ant-Man and Spider-Man, it changes nothing, which kind of ruins the fact because they feel tagged on. But I liked Spider-Man. I will say I do like Spider-Man. His characterization was awesome.
Also, I like the mask squinting.
I did too, and I like the explanation when they've said it's because he's meant to be zooming in to shoot with his webbings because Iron Man's built his technology. I'm like, that's cool.
That was clever. And also because as Spider-Man mentioned in the talking to Tony in the apartment, he said, "Well, I wear the dark goggles because my senses are enhanced, and because I have my enhanced eyes dimming the light helps me focus more on what I'm doing."
Yep.
So that was also cool.
I see everything.
And I also love the fact that Tony picks up one of the web cartridges and says, "This is very impressive. The tensile strength on this thing is amazing. Where did you get this? Who produced it?" And Peter turns around and goes, "Oh, I made it." I'm like, yes, he made his webbing. Thank you. Finally, Peter gets to make his own goddamn webbing.
He did in the last series.
Yeah.
I thought he got the webbing from Oscorp in the last series.
He stole the ingredients for it, but he mixed it.
Yeah, he stole the ingredients, but he used his father's blueprint and his own mind to create his own webbing himself, like he normally does, where he uses bits of what's around him to make it.
Actually, technically, didn't he order the ingredients from Oscorp on the internet?
Yeah, he stole the ingredients from Oscorp, but that's that's wrong in itself. But I liked Spider-Man in this, and I like the fact that he's got like that stupid onesie, and then he gets the professional suit because Tony gives it to him. I'm like, okay, so now it doesn't need to look like Peter made it himself. That's a cool way around this. I like this.
I also like the fact he made an Empire Strikes Back joke. I thought that was awesome. You remember that old movie with the big walking mechs and the rope? And I can't remember who turns around, but someone turns around to Tony and goes, "How young is this kid?"
I think it was Rhodey.
Yeah. Right when Ant-Man became Giant Man with no change in name at all.
Nope.
Yeah. I was kind of like, okay.
Also,
that annoyed me. That annoyed me because it's like, come on, Ant-Man, Giant Man, at least make a differentiation between them. Don't just be like, he's Ant-Man, now he's Giant Man. And it's like, oh. Okay, we'll
At the very least, I thought like maybe he was gonna pull out one of his discs or something and do it that way. But the fact that he did it on his wrist was like, eh.
Yeah. But overall, that did lead to the best joke in the movie. Like he gets Giant right. Is like, okay, he's big. The little dude is big now. And I was just like, okay, so if anybody on my team has any incredibly amazing powers that they haven't undisclosed that they like to break out, that would be a good time.
See, I thought the best joke of the film was Iron Man. When he kept describing to Peter his incredibly hot aunt.
That was also hilarious.
And when Peter webs him, his hand just sticks to the door, and then you got the awkwardness of, you're going to let me free.
And Peter's like, oh, right.
Yeah.
But Jay, we have a hot Aunt May.
We do.
Right. Yep. She's awesome. Tony has good taste.
Yeah. So I don't know if this is comics or not, but was it was it just me or were they hinting a Vision Scarlet Witch romance?
They were an item in the comics.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, I'd mentioned that to you the other day when you said that.
I didn't think I said that the other day, but okay.
Yeah, you did, and I said, yeah kind of, but
okay, fair enough.
It wasn't anything good.
No.
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't think people really knew how far they were going to go with it until the movie came out, and because I heard rumors that they might be going in that direction, but also people were saying, well, they might like subtly hint at it, but they're not going to go full out with it. And after watching this movie, I'm like, no, they're putting them together. It's obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Can I also point out, even though she's not a mutant, before someone makes that joke, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Scarlet Witch is now a part of their team. She's like a main member. Why doesn't she have a Scarlet Witch costume? Because that's been one of the things the Marvel fanboys have snickered at with the X-Men films. Is like when Wolverine doesn't have his costume. They can't wait to bitch, but when it's the female in a Marvel film, like, no, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
She's gotta have that weird gypsy look or whatever.
Yeah, I think if they're gonna give her like the comic costume, I think they need to give her one of the more modern versions because having that big headdress is just gonna look way too weird, especially in that universe. But I could see some of the more modern like redesigns of the costume, which some of them I thought were actually kind of cool. I could see them using one of those, and at least like giving her like the red.
It doesn't need to look exactly like it. Just needs to look similar, like what they did with Captain America's costume, where they streamlined it. Like a streamlined like Spartan like helmet on it would work.
Yeah.
That would work.
And that also actually brings me to Black Widow. And again, I don't know if she wore that in like Age of Ultron or not. But I love the fact that she's actually in the Black Widow costume. I'm like, yes, she looks like Black Widow. Because before it was just standard spy, catsuit kind of thing. But now they actually bothered to put her in the actual Black Widow costume. And I'm like, that's fucking awesome.
I never realized there was a difference.
And I will say, Black Widow, in my opinion, was the best character of this entire film.
She was
good.
Pretty incredible.
Because unlike, like I said, it's close. Her and Spider-Man, I felt, were the were the two big ones. But unlike Spider-Man, she felt like she was needed throughout the whole film. And
Yeah.
unlike, say, like the problem I had with Captain America and stuff, she actually was like, "Oh, these are our friends," and she, unlike a lot of them, was showing conscience, and she even flip-flopped sides, not out of sheer belief of what was going on, but because of her faith in her friends.
Yeah.
That's way more powerful. That was awesome. That makes her way more of an interesting character than most of the other ones in this film.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Also, is it not that obviously he did serve a purpose earlier in his appearance in the movie, but is it just me or did Hawkeye feel really shoehorned into this movie?
Kind of, yeah.
Not really, because I'd say the other two felt shoehorned in. At least Hawkeye had the thing of being able to shoot stuff, and and the personal connections and stuff.
True.
Yeah.
So it was more like he'd come out for retirement to do this. Although I will mention, as I said to the others before, what the hell? Iron Man gets to pick someone from this universe, and he goes to Peter Parker, who doesn't know the people, hasn't really been challenged for the last 6 months, because he's still starting off in like a rookie costume that looked kind of shit.
Mhm.
And he's like, "You're gonna be the equals to take on the Avengers." He didn't go to Matt Murdock, or Frank Castle, or Jessica Jones, or depending on when it was set, Luke Cage.
Mm.
Like, literally, you're gonna go with
Yeah,
the
or-
kid?
Yeah, or Doctor Strange. Hello.
His film's gonna be an origin film.
I know,
Yeah.
but we don't know when the origin part of that film is going to be set.
It's generally safe to assume that unless they say otherwise, the movies take place, regardless of date, at least in the chronological order in which they are released.
Yeah, but
Fair
I wasn't sure like where it tied with the Netflix shows. But I was like,
Yeah.
Daredevil and stuff would have been so much cooler than Ant-Man, who was shit, because it's just Paul Rudd and everything. Or basically, as much as I like Spider-Man, I would have rather seen Daredevil. We have a
It
connection
just
with
makes more sense. Because you want a kid, or you want actually someone who's trained?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, you'd also get that great Civil War moment in which Captain America beat the living shit out the Punisher.
Did he do that? Nice.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
so funny, because he was like, hey, let's do this, you're on our side, and he just kills somebody like a dick, and he's like, no, it's not what we do!
Exactly.
It was funny
That's
as
awesome.
fuck. Oh my
That was
god.
one of the reasons I felt, and not just no, it wasn't in comics, but because I felt the comic ironically got Captain America right, unlike what this film did. Of like
Yeah.
in that thing when Frank Castle kills someone, Captain America beats the shit. I'm like, I don't care if you're on my side. You killed someone. That's never fucking right, you asshole. And he's just beating the shit out of him. And like the end of the film, or the end of the comic, like I mentioned, he gets himself, he gives up and gets arrested because he sees the destruction around him. He's like, this is bad for everyone. Whereas this film, he's like, nah, let's just do this again by freeing everyone.
I could do this all day.
Yeah, and it's like, no, you haven't learned your. In fact, you're
You really
acting completely
shouldn't.
not like Captain America.
And speaking of the ending, this film just kind of ended really anticlimactically and kind of fizzled out.
A little bit.
Also, I didn't like the fact Black Panther's story was the story of his father's death, because, like I said, who killed him in the comics, Claw, is basically way more interesting for a standalone Black Panther film than to be the throwaway B story in this. Essentially speaking, Black Panther's role in this was the fat friend in a chick flick film who's trying to save her corner shop. Yeah, it's slightly important, but not as important as whether or not Meg Ryan actually gets together with Tom Hanks.
Huh.
Mhm.
And it's like, that's his best story, and you've just thrown it away. Why? Why have you done this?
Yeah. Which is too bad, because I like the journey that T'Challa takes in this movie. He was one of the more interesting. He's kind of an outsider. He's not, he doesn't know the Avengers. He's just there for revenge. But because of that, he gets to see everything from a different perspective. And he's also coming from the perspective of, he doesn't quite trust the governments, but he has a basis for it because he's been doing this for so long because he is the prince that he's seen all sides of bureaucracy and stuff. But then he's also seeing, because he is the Black Panther, he also sees it from like the superhero side of things, and so he's seeing the interplay going on, and he's like, this isn't right, and I'm allowing vengeance to cloud my own judgment. I can't do that. And I love the fact that he does that, and where he's just like, no, I can't do that anymore.
So actually, in this film, he's a king.
Yeah,
Well, he becomes the king. He becomes the king after his dad dies. He's the prince until his dad gets bombed into oblivion. But yes.
Yes, but you're talking about Black Panther's journey.
Yeah.
To be fair, he's not Black Panther at the moment he's prince. When his father died, he takes up the mantle.
True. Fair enough. You have
now I'm both warrior and king.
Yeah, but I love that. That just, Black Panther to me was the most interesting character, just because that entire journey fascinated me, and the way they wrote that journey, I was like, that was very well done. Where he's
and the way it came to an end with an apology, and at the mountaintop, that was really cool too.
Yep, Black Panther was really cool. I liked how he was played, and I liked what they did with him. I just didn't like the fact that was the story they used, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, I could understand that.
Fair enough. Well, they already set up Claw in Age of Ultron, so he'll be presumably the villain in the main Black Panther movie.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't mean as much if he doesn't have that personal connection with the fact that this is the guy that's murdered his father and set about everything.
Yeah, Claw's actions won't have the gravitas it would have if, he had murdered the king of Wakanda. Because that's pretty high gravitas there.
Yeah.
So I could completely understand that from Mole, and I agree that after Mole told me about Black Panther's backstory, because I haven't read a lot of Black Panther, so I didn't know about that. It's like, yeah, that would have made probably for a much better Black Panther. I also didn't like the fact that literally the first, like the mid-credit scene, literally outlines for you the entire story of the fucking Black Panther movie. I'm like, really? That's where you're going? Because that's the Black Panther movie right there. It's fucking Hydra coming after Bucky, and Captain America's going to make a cameo. And they're probably going to fall back.
No, I don't think that's going to happen.
It might do, but it might not. It might not necessarily. It might necessarily not do because it's just a teaser.
Yeah, because like I said, it's going to feature Claw, who maybe that's involved, but I think it was just well on the side and said, hey, Black Panther is here. He's got resources. He's a badass. That's what they were trying to establish.
Fair enough. I did like the Panther statue, though. That thing looked awesome.
Let them try.
I will say all the fight scenes looked great, except the final one.
The Cap.
The Bucky and Cap double teaming Iron Man fight.
Yeah, because even like I'd mentioned when I saw it in the trailer, it looked goofy as fuck.
A little bit.
At times when they're like taking him on, it's like, really? That looks goofy.
Also, I'm still
dramatic moments where he's gets Iron Man down and he's just slamming him with the shield just over and over.
Also, Captain America tried to kill him.
Yeah, I was like, wait, is he going to kill Iron Man? What the fuck?
Yeah, that should be worth noting. Bear in mind, like I mentioned, Captain America, clearly a villain, tries to kill Iron Man.
When did he do that?
When he
tried to freaking break his arc reactor thing, which would
which is his heart.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he cracked the arc reactor. If he'd have slammed it one more time, he would have split it right in half, and that would have instantly killed Tony.
Yeah.
And again, if anybody saw the end of Iron Man 3, you would have seen that scene where he had a surgery to remove the shrapnel so that's not actually prolonging his life anymore. It's just the suit's power source.
But it's still joined into his chest.
Is it? Okay.
It's still part of him.
And the other thing with that as well is even if it's not joined to him, if that breaks, it goes off like a nuke almost. It kills him anyway.
That is true. Yeah. That is true.
So yeah, Captain America tried to kill him because he destroyed the metal part of Bucky's arm.
And also, I'm so hurt that there wasn't like a boss fight of the actual, actual villain. Like I wanted someone him to First of all, I kind of didn't want that guy to be the bad guy. I wanted there to be some super evil or a whole bunch of Winter Soldiers fighting them or something, or some cool action fight with the actual guys bad guys or something. But it's like, nope, I killed them all. That was anticlimactic. And it was like, by the way, I give up now. And it's like, that's anticlimactic, and I'm gonna apologize, and then we're just gonna piss off and end the movie. And
Yeah, I was kind of hoping they were going to walk in and all the Winter Soldiers had been freed.
yeah.
I was also really hoping, and what the fuck, Marvel, fuck you for this? I was waiting for him to become Baron Zemo, and we did not get Baron Zemo. I'm like, no, he is Baron Zemo. Make him Baron Zemo, then he becomes a credible villain.
But the thing is, his father was Baron Zemo. He didn't want that mantle.
Doesn't matter.
Because his father was Baron Zemo, who got asked out to the Avengers in the first 10 minutes of Age of Ultron.
So he should have taken the mantle. I'm sorry. If you're going to make Zemo a villain, he needs to be Baron Zemo.
Yeah, well, the one thing they established was when he got that other guy in the hotel room and he was waterboarding that dude for information about what happened on December whatever, 1999 or 91.
September, but yeah.
Yeah, whatever. But the way he I kind of established, I think, where the guy was saying Hail Hydra, and he didn't give a shit. And he's like, I'm gonna have to use this book. I don't want to use this book. I don't want to have to do all this shit because I'm gonna have to hurt a lot of people to do this if you don't help me. Because that's the thing. That's what he said. He made establish his motivation is I don't want to hurt a lot of people, but if you don't tell me where to find this Siberian base, the only other person who knows is Bucky Barnes, and I'm gonna have to go through a lot of effort, and people are gonna die for me to get a hold of Bucky Barnes. I don't want to do that, but you're forcing my hand here.
But I feel like he was just a lame kind of villain.
Yep.
Kind of, yeah.
Yep.
I think my point is he wasn't really a villain per se. He was just a guy with a grudge against the Avengers.
Yeah, he wasn't a villain. He was more just a catalyst for everything.
Like, he's an antagonist.
Yeah, that's a good word.
Yeah.
Okay, but he was still lame.
But as I mentioned with the Captain America thing where he threw down the shield, do you think we're going to get a second Captain America now?
It's possible.
Did they have a second Captain America? Did they have a second Captain America that wasn't Falcon or Bucky?
Yeah, they've had multiple.
U.S. agent.
I was hoping for John Walker.
Okay. That could be cool.
Though I get the feeling what's going to happen is basically Steve is going to get the shield back come Infinity War when they bring the Avengers back together to fight Thanos.
We're going to see what happens because the Russo brothers went on an interview and they said it's actually not Infinity War anymore.
I know, but I'm the next Avengers movie.
They said it's assumed that one of the two will be Infinity War, but they said because they're really two separate movies, they wanted to make that distinct, so they changed the name of at least one of them, if not both.
That's silly, because I like the idea, because Infinity War, with how big it was going to be with all the characters, needed to be two parts.
I could agree with that.
I can only tell you what the director said.
An Avenger now?
I wasn't saying the director didn't say it, Jim. I was just saying that's a good idea.
Is who an Avenger now?
So I said, who's the actual Avengers left over? Who's not a criminal?
Well, the Avengers that are left over would be, let's see, Iron
Man and Vision, right?
Everyone on Iron Man's team.
I know, but it's just Iron Man and Vision, right?
Except for Black Widow, she's on the run now too.
Yeah, it's basically Iron Man's entire team except for Black Widow. So it'd be Iron Man, Rhodey.
He had the smallest team anyway. So, and he's not.
No, they had
Spider-Man again.
The teams had an equal number.
No, they had more on the Rebel side. It's just Iron Man and Vision and who else?
In the fight scene in the airport, it's an even number.
No, it's not, because literally Spider-Man's against 2-on-1.
Yeah.
Because he's against Bucky and Falcon.
Where? Iron Man and Vision. Who else do they got?
They got Iron Man, they got Vision, they got Rhodey if he gets his legs working again.
Spider-Man.
They got Spider-Man.
I don't think they're going to use Spider-Man again.
Probably will.
They got those four. Black Widow went to the other side, so she's probably not with them.
The reason they'll use Spider-Man again, Pure, is with how much money they've spent to make this deal happen, they're definitely going to use Spider-Man again. I mean, Spider-Man and Captain America are meant to appear in the next Spider-Man film.
Oh, okay. Because I wasn't sure if they were going to, they come back in another film, like Avenger film or something.
Well, you also did see the very end of the movie where it says Spider-Man will return, right?
I didn't see the very end of the movie.
No, she didn't see the end credits.
Oh, that's right, because you had to leave early. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a scene at the end where basically Spider-Man's sitting on his bed, he's looking at the web shooter with some kind of like a red light coming out of it. Aunt May interrupts him and talks to him for a minute. They have a nice conversation. She leaves, and then he pulls back out and he points at the ceiling, and it's forming a big red hollow circle on the ceiling with a Spider-Man logo and some shit around it.
Yep.
Okay, so he's got like 4 people. This is the whole Avengers now.
Yeah, but you also have Thor and Hulk.
Yeah,
Oh,
Thor
are
and
they
Hulk weren't in
still
the
on
movie, and they're still Avengers.
Okay.
Yeah, they just went missing for this one.
Yeah.
Although I'm
Which-
relatively sure Hulk won't be.
You don't think so?
You really think he's going to work with Ross?
You wouldn't want to work with Ross, but at the same time, if anybody knows the danger of their powers running loose and unchecked, it's Bruce Banner.
Yeah, but at the same time, Bruce Banner would be the type of guy, which he's done multiple times, to just take himself off the grid and go into hiding, rather than let the government use him as a weapon.
True,
Yeah, I was gonna
especially
say.
General Ross.
that
Yeah.
is true.
Yeah, 'cause I was gonna say they're gonna be probably more on neutral ground.
Yeah,
No.
General Ross become Red Hulk.
You think they'll make a Red Hulk?
No, I really hope they don't.
They're gonna make him the Grey Hulk, and he'll be a douchebag.
I could also
Actually,
see,
the Red Hulk appeal.
Yeah, but Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross is actually the Red Hulk in the comics.
Okay.
I could also see Thor telling Ross off, being like, you're not the boss of me. Do I look human to you? No, I'm an Asgardian. You don't get to order me around. Fuck the hell off, mortal.
No, but Thor respects Midgard too much to do that.
Yep. For respects the the reason for respected Shield and stuff was he's like, it's your world's government. I respect your world's laws.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair enough.
But I could see
But
I could see Hulk going the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking, which would even the sides of it. Ironically, speaking of those two, one of the lines I did love was Ross's line when he's talking to Iron Man, and like, do you even know where Thor and Banner are? Because I'll tell you, my job, if I lost a couple of 30 milliton warheads, I'd be in trouble.
Yep.
But they're people, so not objects.
They're also, generally speaking, the two most powerful and dangerous members of the Avengers.
And they're off having a besties adventure.
They are. Stay tuned. Thor Ragnarok.
I do have to say, though, I want to throw this out there. Probably my favorite comedic scene in the movie has to be when you have Cap, Bucky, and Falcon are in the little, I think it's a Beetle or whatever that Cap managed to secure, and they go to meet Sharon Carter to get their gear back, and Cap goes out to talk to her, and Bucky and Sam, they're still in the car. And Captain America kisses Sharon, and it cuts back to the car, and you see Sam and Bucky look at each other, and then the shit-eating grin comes across their faces like, yeah, about fucking time, Steve.
I did like that he stole a car. It made me happy.
But the thing I loved the most about
Captain
that...
America stealing a car.
Yeah, well, I don't think... Yeah, I guess. But the thing I absolutely loved about that scene is the instant I saw that smile creep across Bucky's face, I was like, yeah, that's Bucky. I was like, that is definitely Bucky Barnes now. He's back.
Yep.
Because only Bucky would have a shit-eating grin when his best friend finally gets some. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, but that was one of the, in my theater, I mean, that was one of the two moments that got an out loud laugh from the audience. That and Iron Man's, if everybody has the amazing powers, now would be a good timeline. Those were the two that got a major laugh.
See, like I said, in my cinema, most people were falling asleep during the beginning and everything. It was only during the Peter Parker scene that everyone actually lift up when he was in the thing.
Fair enough.
And it was like every time Spider-Man said anything, that was the one that got the loudest laugh.
And I also like how they worked in Spider-Man's banter. So not that he's being clever, he just doesn't know how to shut up in a fight.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that's also part of the reason why they chose Ant-Man, because Ant-Man's effectively that for the other team.
Yeah, a comedy banter character. Yeah.
But I will say with the Spider-Man one, they got him right with the reasons.
Yes.
Yep.
Because he wasn't doing it just because he's Deadpool or something. He was doing it because he's nervous as fuck.
Yeah.
Like when he met Captain America, he's like, oh my god, yes.
You have a metal arm? Wow, cool!
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like him. He's like, oh my god, I'm a big fan. Can't wait to Captain America.
Mm.
And like when
It's not time to start a conversation, kid.
yeah, which they do reference in the post-credit scene.
Hmm.
Which I did like that reference in the post-credit scene. I just thought, that's funny.
I think I missed that.
Literally, like Captain America says to him where he's from and stuff, and when he
Oh,
asks
yeah,
when they
Steve
ask
from
about the
Brooklyn,
eyes,
yeah.
Steve from
Yeah.
Brooklyn, it's Captain America. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah, Steve from Brooklyn, that's right.
And his friend, he's huge. He's literally huge.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, that was on the question. He's talking about his friend Steve and Steve's huge friend. Does that mean Spider-Man has switched sides?
No.
Okay.
Like I said, he's on team pay for my college.
Yeah, he's
I
on
don't know.
Team Iron Man pretty much, but as Spider-Man mentioned, he didn't hate Captain America.
He had
True.
nothing personally
To
against him.
Spider-Man, the way I looked at it is he's so young, that to him it wasn't like he's doing this for a cause or because he believes in anything. He's treating this like a 9-to-5 job. Tony Stark gets his boss and he's paying him to do a job, so he's going to go and do his job. Regardless of the fact he's fighting against his idol, he's getting paid to do a job, so he's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he gets to be involved in something he thinks is totally awesome.
Indeed.
True.
Also, is it sad that it took me until the end of, despite Age of Ultron, it took till the end of this movie when one of the people I was seeing was, bless you.
Bless you.
It took till the end of this movie when one of the people I was seeing was pointed out to me, I didn't know Scarlet Witch was the Olsen twins' little sister. I'm like, wait, what? Oh, shit, it is.
I was also like, during this, I was like, oh, cool. At least we had a whole film where you don't have to mention the Infinity Stones, and then and then Vision points at his head. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
there we go.
I don't know what this is, but maybe one day I can control it.
Because I don't get me wrong, I know they're building to the Infinity War, but not every fucking thing needs to be like. I hate the fact people have got their powers from it, and Loki's powers come from it. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, you've made too much things. It's sort of like Smallville Season 1. While I enjoy Smallville Season 1, I didn't like the fact that every fucking villain was created by kryptonite.
See,
Is that how that happened?
it's interesting that
pretty
you
much
mentioned
every
that.
villain.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying, yeah, pretty much every villain gets created by kryptonite.
It's interesting that you mentioned that because that is actually my biggest fear and concern with Doctor Strange. Because I've heard say that Doctor Strange's Eye of Agamotto isn't going to be the Eye of Agamotto, it's going to be the Time Gem. And I'm like, oh, fuck off. No. He needs to be the Sorcerer Supreme. He needs the Eye of Agamotto. Do not give him an Infinity Gem.
Based on the trailer, I would have thought he would have the Reality Gem.
Or the Reality Gem. Yeah, they're saying that too, reality or time. But still, it's like, no, don't.
Well, those are the
don't,
two that are left I counted for.
Yeah, but I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't make the Eye a gem. No, fuck you. That needs to be actual magic, or you've done it wrong.
No, but the thing is, I can almost guarantee you it will not be actual magic in any way. It might be reality-bending powers, but it will not be magic. Because Marvel has gone out of their way, starting with Thor and moving onward, to avoid having anything magical in their cinematic universe.
Hey, in the freaking first movie, they said, in the first movie, they said this is magic and other shit we hadn't planned for.
Yeah, though, to be fair, in the trailer, they do make out it's real magic, and they do make out like it's a big deal that it's actually coming.
I don't know.
Fair enough.
So I'm hoping he's magical. If he's not, fuck it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I would have preferred him to be magical as well. I just didn't know how likely that was given how the Marvel Cinematic Universe has aimed itself so far, but we'll see.
And we all know where the reality gem needs to end up.
Where does the Reality Gem need to end up?
It needs to end up in New York, and it needs to be a certain actor getting hold of the gem so Spider-Man can fight Mysterio.
Yes!
That would be awesome,
would be
actually.
amazing!
I'm kidding with that, but that would just be
I
funny
want to
as
see
well.
Mysterio as a Spider-Man villain in a movie. That'd be awesome. Mysterio.
Because that would make sense with the reality gem.
Well, it'd be a way to explain his abilities.
To be fair, his ability is normally explained by holograms and shit, but yeah,
True.
I was thinking that'd be the only way to explain. I'd just explain his powers. Fuck it, he has the reality gem,
Yeah.
and it makes Spider-Man now seem more important.
Hmm.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But I'm in no way saying they should do that.
No.
If people are here listening and thinking, oh, he's got a theory, No, I was making a joke.
That was taking a piss. That wasn't serious.
I think it's a good idea, though. I like it.
Mhm.
I'd pay to see Spidey v Mysterio. That'd be awesome.
I'd love to see that fight. That'd be great. I also like Fritz. I mean, not that he wouldn't be. Obviously they have to make him differentiate him from the Lizard in the first Amazing Spider-Man, but I wouldn't mind seeing the Scorpion in one of these movies.
Scorpion should be differentiated from the Lizard because he's not a guy who's a scorpion. He's a guy in a suit.
True.
Yeah.
Whenever they did the Scorpion with Scorpion powers that they did in the game, I always thought it was shit. I was like, no, he's a guy in a suit. That's what makes that funny.
Mm.
Yeah.
Change an interesting point. When they were showing off all in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, when they were showing off all them suits in Oscorp, I don't remember seeing Scorpions.
It's because he wasn't going to be one of the 6.
Fair enough.
But yeah, Civil War. I think we're about ripe to wrap this up and give our final thoughts.
Sounds good.
So let's head on down to the end and Pew, your thoughts.
By
Cricket
itself, by itself, I thought it was an okay movie. It connected to everyone. Like, and when I say this, I mean like I think my mom will like it. Like a whole lot. Like, it's supposed to be super awesome because she doesn't know anything about it. She's gonna have a good time. It'll be entertaining regardless. But it connected to everything else and like continuity wise and everything. It's like, yeah.
So you're giving it a Pew's mum out of 10?
Yeah,
She
pretty
is.
much.
Pew's mum out of 10.
I appreciate. I approve of that rating scale because.
It means nothing.
It does mean nothing.
Because like pretty much like she only knows that she likes Iron Man because Robert Downey Jr. was an Ally McBeal. That's like all she really knows.
He was Larry. I mean, he was? Never seen it in my life. God,
Yeah.
that show went down the hell after he left.
Yeah, but it was kind of like boring in the beginning, very anticlimactic at the end. Had some cool fight stuff and cool characters and everything. A lame villain. Spider-Man was cool, but then he was gone. It's like, coolness, goodbye. Yeah. So it's very average on the rank of awesomeness. So yeah, it gets an average, like whatever that is, just average.
Average. Fair enough. I will accept an average. Over to Mole.
Personally, while I had faults with it, like, for example, I found it really hilarious that a villain literally manipulated all of these people to fight, which is the same thing people said made Batman stupid because Lex manipulated him. But notice how that didn't come up in this review. But, yeah, so you had that, and you got fucking CGI Robert Downey Jr.'s
That was
face.
weird.
Oh yeah, that.
That was
looked-
weird.
He looked more believable as a black guy in Tropic Thunder than he did as a younger version of himself. That's how bad the CGI looked. But
Yeah.
like I said, I had the problems like I had with the I didn't really care for the ending too much. It was like fizzled. It just went there. And the beginning, it was really slow to start off and stuff. However, once you got into it with Spider-Man, Black Widow and stuff, they made it enjoyable enough, especially Black Widow, that this is a good film. I'd put this in my top 5 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe so far, with first being Avengers, second probably being Iron Man, third being Guardians, fourth being Thor, fifth being this.
Okay.
So I'd give this a firm watch.
All right.
Over to Marcus, so we can go over to Jim.
Thank you. Over to the stash.
What? He went to Jim next. Spoilers.
I give it table out of 10.
Boo! That reference means nothing here.
I know. But anyway, no, it was a really fun movie. There were some areas they could have improved on a little bit. They could have not made Captain America look like such an ass. And and maybe had an actual villain for them to team up and fight at the end rather than just kind of fizzling out. But
But
overall, it's a great.
they wanted a worldwide audience to appreciate this, so they made America the villain.
Nice. Which is ironic you say that, because they were actually, I was just before we did this review, I was looking at some of the stats, and actually the movie in its opening weekend here, it made about $181 million, whereas they actually released it overseas earlier, and it's already made almost $300 million.
Yeah, because I was making a joke with that, but they do tend, like with this one, they haven't made it, oh, America's right, and Captain America's right because he represents America. They didn't do any of that stuff, because they make their films for the worldwide audience. Like, the reason the Mandarin wasn't the Mandarin in Iron Man 3 was to please the Chinese audience, so they could get that big group, because these films are made for everyone. Even people with really tiny eyes, that's why they make the letters on the screen massive.
It's for the seeing impaired. Anyway.
Also, I was gonna say, I think the best version of Civil War was the one in the video game, Ultimate Alliance. Like, at least overall.
Do you say best or worst?
I'd say, like, best, and, like, as in it kind of worked all the way through.
I did not like the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 version, because that game was really lazy, because it was so fucking short, because they had 2 endings. It's like, oh, fuck off now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like, story-wise.
Yeah, I'd say the best one would probably be
Comics.
I'm probably gonna go with this one.
Really?
I just feel like this
Does
one.
this have Spider-Man unmasking and Tony Stark hiring villains to go after him, including Venom? It's not Venom. It's Venom.
While Tony Stark continually ruins his fucking life.
It's Mac Gargan. Or does this have Clone for?
True. Good point.
Comics are weird.
Most comics usually are better than the actual thing they're based on. Like, normally the films aren't that good if they're based on a comic. They're not as good as the comic. This is the exception to the rule, because the comic was so what the fuck at times.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it had to be better than the comic no matter what, because it was just so, like, terrible.
Yeah. Not terrible, it just had weird moments. But
it really missed the mark.
But yeah, the movie was great. Spider-Man was hilarious. They did a great job characterizing Spider-Man, and I liked that they brought in the younger actor. It really made a juxtaposition to the rest of the group, and that was really a lot of fun. I'll admit, I like Ant-Man. I thought it was funny. I liked the Ant-Man movie, and I think Paul Rudd. Yes, he's Paul Rudd, but Paul Rudd's funny, so I accept Paul Rudd. And just overall, it was a great movie. I agree. Like Black Widow kind of saw through the bullshit. Was like, no, this is we gotta do what's right for our friendship and not just what's right because your side and that side and everything else. That was really good. The fight scenes were really cool. I did like those. And just a lot of great stuff in the movie. So I definitely recommend checking out the movie. Just don't expect a big villain fight.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that depends on who you think the villain is.
Oh.
Yeah, there's that too. But yeah, I kind of agree with pretty much everyone else here. It's like,
no, you don't have the right to agree with me.
No. I did also really like the Black Panther storyline, like Marcus mentioned. Black Panther, I thought was a cool character. The fact that he was calm and collected, he knew his goal, but he also knew when the goal wasn't worth it anymore and to drop it. The vengeance and everything, and he talked to the guy at the end about what he did. That was really cool as well.
I'm surprised you also didn't go into more about the letters. Like I said, I mentioned them, and I remember how much you hated them. The giant fucking words that took up all the entire.
Yeah, that was a
transition to a different location. Like Vienna, this, that. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, the first time they did that, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Okay, and then they did it again, like, oh, they're gonna do this for the whole fucking movie, aren't they?
Yeah, I hated those, and I hated the part where they kept just retelling you the stuff you've just seen like 5 minutes ago in case you were too stupid to have been paying attention for the whole film.
Yeah, they tend to do that. But as I was saying, I agree with everyone else that I didn't like the fact that Zemo basically did anything. He wasn't Baron Zemo. I guess he's not supposed to be. I was expecting Baron Zemo. Again, probably because I haven't seen Age of Ultron, but
yeah, because the original Baron Zemo was leading the Hydra base in there and was evil until he got nerfed out in 10 minutes, whereas this guy was not really Hydra.
Yeah, and like you guys, I would have preferred if whoever was the one behind the scenes turned out actually to be the big bad villain, and then they had to fight him, then I think that would have made a more satisfying ending.
I didn't want a villain.
Okay.
Like I said, I wanted the ending from the comics of midway through. They then realize, oh shit, and we see Captain America get arrested and led away, and what that actually means and how important that was for the character growth. So it's like more like a character study.
That would have worked too. Yeah.
I wanted that, but I kind of gave up on it because I'm like, he's not gonna do it. I wanted you to do it, but you're not doing that anymore, are you?
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded if like the next film we then dealt with like basically the bullet to the head.
There you go. Yeah, people were expecting that. The surprising thing is, almost universally, people were expecting somebody to die in this movie, and spoilers, nobody died.
Rhodey was close.
He was close. He got paralyzed, which I kind of have to call bullshit because he's in the fucking War Machine armor, and I'm sorry, it's basically the same thing as the Iron Man armor. How high has Tony fallen from? And he's perfectly fine.
Yeah, but when Tony falls, his armor usually still has some semblance of power.
Yeah, plus, as we've seen in the other ones, he always uses the thrust, and whenever he hasn't used the thrust, he's been injured. So to fall from that high and as he mentioned, it was like dead stick.
And directly onto his spine, mind you.
Yeah. It would make sense it would hurt him.
Yeah.
Well, I expect him to be hurt. I was like, really? It fucking paralyzed him? I think that's going a little far.
Marcus, if I put you in a big casing of really hard steel and metal all around you, and then I drop you from like 600 feet in the air, what do you think's gonna happen?
Yeah, but this isn't just a casing of steel. It's the fucking War Machine armor.
It's still a casing of steel.
Yeah.
I don't know, just after seeing...
Yeah, then as we saw when Ant-Man was running through Iron Man's armor, which was really clever and cool, by the way, we saw ripping it out. We saw it's all metal components and wiring and circuitry and shit in there.
Yes, but after seeing all the Iron Man movies, seeing what the armor and shit can do, I find it very hard to believe that all it is just a casing of metal that's going to hurt you when you land, because it's been shown that it's not. It's been shown that it does protect the wearer.
It's also been shown that if he doesn't thrust properly when he lands, he's always injured afterwards, and depending on how he's landed, he's had major injuries before now, or injured before now. So yeah, with the height, that'll increase the damage. The fact he wasn't able to thrust and how he landed.
Yeah, this is.
It's one of those cases, all three factors.
Also, Iron Man's armor is always going to be more advanced and probably probably better than the War Machine one. Or
yeah, which I will just say I do like his new armor.
That was cool.
That was awesome.
What mark was that?
I don't know. I just like it. I just like his armor in this film. I'm like, oh, it's cool.
Yeah. So and more to that same point, I think that this is at least the third movie that has ended with Iron Man's arm in a sling. Because I'm pretty sure that's how Iron Man 3 ended, and it might have been how Iron Man 2 ended.
Yep. Oh, isn't it a fake sling now?
Is it?
I got the sense it might be a fake sling just from the fact he took it off at one point when his arm went into the suit, and then he was able to move it perfectly fine.
Well, the suit probably acts as an exoskeleton and reinforces his skeletal muscular structure so that he can use the arm.
Yeah, but it would still hurt like fuck to move his arm for him. Even with the suit moving it, it would still be an impossibility, and it would also hurt and possibly risk his bone not growing back right.
Maybe I would imagine it's probably some of the same technology that you see in like Batman to exosuit in Kingdom Come, where it literally acts as a second thing to support everything and let him keep moving.
See, I got the other idea because he had the suit on and he's talking to General Ross, but then suddenly, boom, he's in the Iron Man suit and takes off. I get the sense he's got the arm and the sling, so he can suddenly go Iron Man mode at a moment notice, and no one will expect it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I would also say Tony did a few impossible, or well, at least one other impossibility in this that I saw. Which when I saw that, I was like, really, no, just no. Because when Steve and Bucky take off in the Quinjet, it's long and drawn out, and they're flying out to to go after the Winter Soldier program. Not 2 minutes after they land and enter the facility, Iron Man is fucking there. I'm like, no, Iron Man, you cannot fly that fast, and you can't tell me you can fly that fast. What the fuck?
He can fly faster than a jet.
Not that fast.
He literally did that in one of the Iron Man films, to the point that they were like, wait, what just happened on the speakers with how fast he broke the sound barrier? With the,
he can fly fast, but just really 2 minutes after they land, after they showed like the amount of time it took them to get there in the Quinjet, and Iron Man just like teleports there. I'm like, no, you're not that fast, Iron Man.
I don't think he teleports there. I think you're supposed to believe it happened at the same time.
He's got a really fast suit.
Yeah, so he's got a really fast suit, and with the other stuff, I think you're supposed to believe basically he would have taken off and gone there and landed there fine, but it would have been at the same time they were landing.
Fair enough. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of weird, because it's like, you got there kind of fast, but maybe it was just me. It felt a little fast to me.
I mean, but it could be the equivalent of some kind of like flying aircraft or whatever.
Yep.
Maybe, but I don't know. But yeah, I really did enjoy the movie beginning to end, despite the fact that, the ending was a little bit lackluster. But the beginning, parts of it didn't bore me. I was actually interested throughout the whole, because I wanted to find out the story, the impetus behind the Civil War in this case, because since we knew they weren't going to be going with really what was in the comics. I'm like, okay, so what sparks this? I mean, we saw flashes of it in the trailer, but I'm like, what's the breakdown of it? And it was very interesting to see that. Love Spider-Man, love Black Panther. I actually really liked Ant-Man. I haven't seen the movie, but what I saw of him here, I was like, okay, yeah, he's kind of cool. And I thought between Ant-Man and Spider-Man there was a little too much banter, but I felt at least some banter was necessary to kind of break it up. I thought that was a good juxtaposition, and they did do Spider-Man right. I don't know if Ant-Man is supposed to banter or not. I heard he does it in the movie, but I don't know if like in the comics he banters. But I felt it was just with the two of them, it was a little too much. To the point that I kind of had to agree with whoever told him, "We're fighting. Shut the hell up." But overall, I would say I would give this I'd probably give it like 8 out of 10. I'd say go watch it. It's worth it. It's worth it to see it in the theater, I think. I will say, just quickly, one of the trailers I did see when I went to go see Civil War was Doctor Strange, and I was seeing Civil War in 3D, so I got to see the Doctor Strange trailer in 3D. Holy crap, that looks fucking amazing. I'm like, okay, now I want to see this movie in 3D, just for the visuals alone, because, whoa. That trailer looks so much better in 3D. It really does.
All right.
But is there anything else you guys want to say, since he who controls the stream here is not present?
I had nothing else to say.
Nope.
Okay. Now we're going through the awkward phase. Because that was pretty much my thoughts on Civil War. I don't know what I do from here.
Nope. Live people.
Yeah, pretty much. So what trailers did you guys get?
Same ones. Well, I also got there really late, so I missed like I think 2 of them. But even then, it was still like 20 minutes.
Yeah, got the Doctor Strange. What was it? Robinson Crusoe, Angry Birds, Jason Bourne, and something else. Oh, X-Men.
Yeah, I think we got X-Men.
Ironically,
X-Men.
I want to see the X-Men film way more than I do Doctor Strange.
The X-Men film does look awesome.
Yay!
Oh,
He's
there you
finally
are.
back. We
Any
finished.
stream.
And then we had the awkwardness because we're not.
We
Okay.
can end it.
We'll cut it off then.